Hey everybody, I'm going to show you a quick tutorial on how to use OTRS's backup and restores. They're scripts that they have pre-included in their installations here. So I'm going to go over a few steps. I'm going to go over backupping a system, gathering the info. Then also we're going to look at installing a new server. We're going to alter the database of the new server so that it matches the old one. We're going to go ahead and throw that backup up onto the new server that I've made. We're going to restore the backup. Then we're going to test it and make sure that we've made it properly. And as a bonus, we're also going to look at a script to make it back up nightly. We're going to make a little splash page, and also we're going to enable SSL on it. So first thing, let's go ahead and look at the OTRS server now. And I've created a little dev page. Let me see if of course that doesn't work. I'll fix that here in a minute, but HTTPS isn't enabled yet for this guy. This is just a development version of OTRS that we've got here. I just made this real quick, so I'll log into it. Made it just for this video. And you can see I got a couple tickets. I know I'm a few versions behind. But if we go into status view here, I've got 3 tickets other than one that's in there by default, and I've got a note here. So these are the things that we'll be looking for after we restore. Do we in fact have these 3 tickets, and do we have that note in there? So I'll go ahead and log out of that, and I'm gonna grab a Putty Session and browse over to the IP address that I have this OTRS dev installed as. I'm going to log in as root. So I'm in here as root. First off, let's look at the backups. Right there, that backup folder, that's where I'm going to want to put my backup to. So let's see if there's anything in there. And there's not. So let's kind of follow along this line. I'm going to run the backup script and collect the backup. So if you scroll down here, use the command to run the backup script, backup.pl, choose a destination, and it's going to get a backup. So I'm going to cd over to opt/otrs, get into the scripts folder there, and I'm going to invoke the backup script. So backup.pl, destination, and hang on, somebody's calling me, I'm going to decline it. Destination, and then backup, just like that. So this might take a minute, this might take several minutes if you have thousands and thousands of tickets. But if we go back over here to backup, now you can see that we have that new backup here. And if we look in there, you can see that we got 3 things. We have 3 tarballs, application tar, a config tar, and the database backup is actually not a tar, but that's all your SQL to get your stuff back in there. So I'm going to grab this real quick, and I'm going to use WinSCP for that. Could alternatively just SCP it over to your machine if you're running Linux. And how do I make a new site? New site. .10.0.40 140. Okay, and I'm going to go up to the root directory and backup folder. So I'm going to grab this, and documents is fine. Let's go ahead and make a new folder in here called OTRS dev, and I'm just going to download that. One further thing that I need to do is I need to get my database password. So let's go over to opt/otrs, and there's a folder in here called kernel, and there is a config.pm file. That second file, that's what we need. So I'm going to just cat config.pm. And if we scroll up through here, my database password should be in here somewhere. I don't mind showing you because this is strictly a dev install. So right there's my database password. I don't guess I should paste it in there, should I? So I'm going to copy that, gonna paste it right out here into this notepad. We'll need that later, so I'm going to put it to the side. Alright, so we got that. That's basically all I need from this, so I'm going to shut it down. I'll just go ahead and exit this session real quick, and I'm going to bring up VMware, and I'm going to I guess I could power it off gracefully, couldn't I? You could do this through the GUI also. And I'm just going to halt it. So while that's going down, let's go ahead and make a new OTRS server. So like let's say that this guy, it's broke. Something happened, but I've got that back up. So let's kind of take like a disaster scenario here, and I'll just name this one OTRS Dev 2. I'll throw it into production. I'll give it a little bit of storage. This is Linux. Let's just say other Linux 64-bit, and that's a good network. And let's give it a 40 gig hard drive. So there's OTRS Dev 2. Let's mount up the ISO to install from. I've got it out here on one of these servers. There it is. And that's connected to power on. So let's install this real quick. I am English. There's my disk. That's fine. I'm just gonna kind of take my notes and put them over here on my other monitor so I can keep up with them. And no, I do not want to keep that time zone. I'm in America and I'm in Eastern time. So I want New York. And I'll pick a new password. And I will configure my network device as static. I'm going to give it the same IP address that I used for the other server. With a 22255 netmask. And my gateway is 10.0.40.1. I don't know why you can't put in DNS servers from the GUI here. It would seem like that would be something that would be included. Looking back over here, my old OTRS dev is down, my new one's up. That's the one that you're looking at right now. And this one is actually our production OTRS. We've been running OTRS for about a year. We have just under 10,000 tickets in there. It seems to be serving us pretty well, but we have had some issues in our server environment. We lost a SAN and just a bunch of stuff. So I've had to do this a couple times to run this restore script, and I can never remember how to do it every time. So it's kind of, this video is kind of for me also, just so I'll remember in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and SSH into this. And actually, before that, let's go ahead and browse over to the web GUI for it. I think that's where it said it was. Did it not? Oh yeah, well that's the customer login. Let's go ahead and go over to the agent login. And I'm going to log in with root at localhost. And default password is root. You should change that. If you didn't know the default password, you could just look right here. Default username, default password. Okay, so now I'm in here. I'm going to install a couple packages that I had running on the other one. I had the iPhone handler and then also the FAQ module. So I'm going to go to Package Manager. And I'm going to choose a file. I think I have those in my Dropbox. Yeah, there's the FAQ module. We'll do it first. So I'm just choosing that and clicking on Install, Continue, Continue. Thinking about it. And it's important to have these modules installed before you run the script. Continue once more. Otherwise, the SQL files won't work right. I mean, it's trying to restore stuff over there, and well, it's not there. So I'll get the iPhone handler here also and install that. Continue. Continue. And while that's going, I'll go ahead and SSH into it. And yes, I know my keys have changed because this is a new server than I gave it the same IP address because we're playing like this is a production thing. I don't think I typed that right. Okay, so here I am in here. I got my modules installed back there, so we can just forget about that for a second. Okay, so let's see. First thing we need to do is we need to drop the database. The restore script requires an empty database, and instead of going through this database and clearing out all the tables, I'm just going to drop it and make a new one. So following the instructions that I've typed out here, I'm going to change my user over to Postgres. So here I am there. I'm going to enter it in the SQL prompt. So right there we are. I can do a /L to look at the databases that are in there now. I got a database called OTRS, one called Postgres, and one called Template0. This OTRS one is the one that I want to drop. So press Q to get it out of that. I'm going to first kill all the sessions that are connected up to that. So I'm just going to wow, that did not copy out at all. That's okay. I've got it over here in a notepad. Okay, so you can see here I'm basically using PG terminate backend to kill all these, but I'm not going to kill my own session. I got this off the internet and it seemed to work, and it does end in a semicolon, which is important. So I killed 5 sessions there. Now I'm going to drop database OTRS semicolon. So drop the database. I'm going to create database OTRS semicolon. So I created the database, and I'm going to alter the user OTRS with, oh wait, actually I need to alter the database. Alter database OTRS owner to OTRS. So this just takes that database and it says, hey, the owner of this database is OTRS. So this is the database, this is the owner. Now I'm going to alter user OTRS with encrypted password, and now let's find that password that I saved that password out of config.pm. I do need these single quotes on each side and a semicolon after that. Oh, encrypted. It would be helpful if all these error codes were not in German. Would it not? That'd be great. Okay, so I altered the role on that. So I think that's all that I have to do there. So I'll go ahead and quit out of this. Now, okay, so now I'm ready to place the backup on the server. My WinSCP is kind of crapped out here. It's saying like, oh, you know, you got a security breach because the SSH keys have changed. So I'm just going to reconnect back up to it and type in my password. There we go. And I'm already in the backup folder, so I'm just going to upload this right there. Shouldn't take too long. These backups can get to be a couple hundred megabytes. I've noticed mine are a couple hundred megabytes now, since I've been using it for about a year, and I got around 10,000 tickets in it or so. But that's fine. I mean, it doesn't take too long. Okay, so now I'm going to run the restore script. I'm going to sudo back over to root, change my user back over to root. So now I'm root. And I'm going to go ahead and cd down into where the script is. And right here it is, restore.pl. So let's go / restore.pl. And I'm going to give it a backup file to use that is in backup over here, right there. And I'm going to give it a destination to restore to, so opt/OTRS. Now, this might take a little while. Actually, probably won't take too long here. Oh, what is it saying? Failed DB Connect. That's no good. I wonder if my let's try to just change that password one more time. Just gonna kind of copy this over here. Get rid of all of that. That should be right. Okay, so let's try it again. Sudo root. And I wonder if I can just find this command and copy it. Just type it out. /restore.pl backup 15 destination opt/OTRS/. Okay, so there we go. So now it's doing all its SQL things, it's making these tables, and I do always get these at the end. It's important to note that I think that this is okay. This should be fine. So basically all there is left to do is go and check it out, make sure that it actually restored properly. And I can guarantee you here real quick that we are going to get an error on the customer portal. I spent 3 hours trying to figure this out last night. So let's just go right over here, and it will automatically, oh, you know, actually I think that we need to reboot. So I'll just take that down real quick. We can check out our KVM. Take a sip of coffee. Okay, so that's back up. I'm gonna go ahead and restart this session because we still need it. Now let's see if we still get this fatal error over here. Okay, so now I had a user installed on the other one just called Alex. I'm gonna see if I can log in with that. Interesting. How about root at localhost? Can't get into that one either. Interesting. Let's go over to index.pl and see what's up. Let's try root at localhost. I should be able to log in here. And I can. And as you can see, my tickets are back. So let's go here, tickets, status view, and let's check out this ticket. Oh, yep, look at that. My notes there, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and click on the admin tab and click on agents, and there's my user. So let's see if we can log in here as a user. And I can, so that's great. So why is my customer portal not working? Let's go over here, default web page, and see if I can log in. Nope, still can't. That's weird. But anyway, what I was getting at is the problem that I had to run this last night, and for like 3 hours. I was like, what is wrong? I can't log into the customer portal. It throws a 500 internal server error every single time. And I was thinking that all my backups were corrupted because I don't read German very well, so I was thinking that, well, maybe it's these errors at the end here. But anyway, it turned out that I didn't have any DNS servers. Yeah, so it wasn't able to contact my Active Directory system to authenticate my user. So anyway, that's a really easy fix. Under no circumstances do not put these DNS servers in the interfaces file. Don't put them there. If you do, whenever you restart, it will throw errors and it will cause it to not start up, and then you'll have to SSH back in here and change it. So I'm going to put them in the resolve.conf file right here. This is the proper place to put them in, so I'm going to put a proper search space, and I'm going to give it a good name server. And I'm going to give it another one too. 2 name servers. One of these is virtual. Maybe it'll go down one day. And just Control X and save that. So now I can ping things by domain name. So there's that, and it's restored. Everything is good. We're looking pretty good. So on to the bonus items. Let's go ahead and look at writing a script to back this thing up nightly. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the root home directory. Nothing there now. So I'm just going to make a new script, and I'm going to say bin bash, and let's give it a something here. OTRS backup script nightly by cron. Okay, so I'm going to say echo. These echoes are not necessary. Starting backup process, and I'm going to invoke that Perl script that is included. So opt/OTRS/scripts/backup.pl. I'm going to give that a destination and /backup just like that, and then I'm going to echo back out backup process complete. And the reason I'm putting these echoes in here is I'm actually going to dump it to a log file. so I can read it a little bit easier. So save that, and let's go ahead and do cron tab -E. Gonna go all the way down to the bottom, and I'm going to say, let's see, it's 12:03 right now. Let's do 12:04. So 04 12 star star star. Backup.sh, and I'm going to put that out to var www.backup.log. Okay, I think my syntax is correct there. Let me check that. Yep, I believe so. And let's go ahead and change that to 05 since it's 12:04 now. Save that. And oh, I forgot to change the permissions. Yep, so that should have some good permissions now. Oh yeah, got all kinds of permissions for backup.sh. So it's 12:04:51, 54, 55, 55, 56, 57, 57, 58, 59. Alright, so it should be running that backup right now, and we can check that by going over to backup. And you can see here's 12:05, so it started that process. It should be getting there. It should just take a moment. Okay, so there's that. If I wanted to edit that, like, I don't want to run it just after noon every day. I want to run it at midnight every day. So let's do 0 0. The first time I did this, I did star 0 star star star. So I tried to run 60 times at midnight, once every minute. Silly me. Quickly noticed that mistake after it ran once. Okay, so let's see. What else do we need to do? Let's go ahead and make it like a little landing page for this thing. So I'm going to go over to var www, and you can see there's my backup log that cron job just spit out. So I'm going to nano index.html, and by default, I don't know if you can see this, it's kind of blue against a black screen, but it's got this redirect tag to just redirect over to the customer portal. So I'm just going to take that guy out, and I'm going to give it a title. And I'm going to throw some body tags in there. And I'm going to H1 select an option. So I'm going to throw a couple links in there. OTRS/index.pl. Agent login. Just type it. OTRS/customer.pl. And let's do one more also. Equals backup.log. Okay, so I got that. That looks correct. So let's save that. Now, one further thing that we need to do. I think that should be live now. Actually, let's just browse right on over 10.0.4140. Still trying to redirect. Might have to restart Apache. have to restart Apache. But let's not restart it just yet, because I want to also go over enabling SSL. So let's look at that real quick. So I'm going to first off go ahead and change directory over into there. So it's at etc/apache2, and here's all your good stuff. I'm gonna make a directory called SSL. So here's my SSL directory, nothing in it, and then I'm gonna grab WinSCP again. Must have rebooted it. And let's see, I've got somewhere on my desktop a very important folder of wildcard cert and keys. Get out of there. So I'm looking for etc, Apache2, SSL, and let's go ahead and grab this wildcard cert. I need the cert and the key. And this is a wildcard cert, so anything ending in .ucwv.edu will be good to go. So I'll go ahead and minimize that. And if we ls now, you can see those two keys. So let's see here. I'm going to first off enable my SSL engine. So a2en mod SSL. Yep, so it's enabling the module SSL, and it's saying, hey, you can see this to help create some self-signed certificates. I'm not going to create a self-signed one because I've got one, and you do need to restart it to activate your new configuration. So I'm going to cd into sites enabled, and I'm going to edit this file here, and I'm going to just copy all this and paste it down here. So I've got two copies of the same thing now. So first off, let's go ahead and SSL engine on SSL certificate file is in etc/apache2/SSL/ucwv.cert, and SSL certificate key file is at etc/apache2/SSL/ucwv.key. So that's basically all I need to do for that, but I do need to change this away from port 80 and go to port 443 for HTTPS. And then also I'm going to go up here to the very top, and I'm going to edit this virtual host on port 80. I'm going to delete all of this stuff, and I'm going to put a redirect in here. Alright, so I'm going to go redirect permanent / and then https:// Normally I would put my domain name in here, but since this is dev, I'm going to do 10.0.40.140, just like that. So I should be able to do a service Apache2 restart. Let's hope for no errors. Okay, so it restarted, good to go. Now, let's go back over here. Okay, so it did redirect properly to HTTPS, but it's still pulling up, it's still wanting to go to that guy. Oh, there we go. One of my things is missing, my user login here. Let's go take a look at that. That's just some simple HTML code. make this easier to read, let's put some line breaks in there. Now, refresh that. Awesome. So we can see I got a little splash page, agent login, user login, and backup logs. This is why I put in the cron job, I dumped everything out to this backup log, because I can quickly see, you know, what's going on here. So here I've got my customer login, that links up with the right link. And then also my user login, which went ahead and signed me in since I was already logged in. So you can get pretty complex with these splash pages. I'll show you the one that I use in production here, and I've made it into like basically an IT website for us. So I mean, I got a Twitter feed on there to about notifications. I got links out to everywhere. I mean, you can go here, you can get to WebEx, do whatever you need to do, and then under links down here at the very bottom, hopefully nobody will notice, I got my backup log. Not much in there because I just restored this yesterday. So it did run this morning at 8:52. I invoked it. So I didn't set up the script last night like I did, but I did do that this morning before I made the video. So everything seems to be pretty much on the level for our development environment here. We've got HTTP enabled, and let's go ahead and look at that cert real quick. Oh yeah, throwing out a good cert, good to 2018. That's what I like to see. So yeah, I think we're good to go. We got all our tickets back, and we have recovered from a disaster, so to speak. So hope that helps somebody. I know that I've had a lot of issues trying to use this restore script before, and the first time that I had to do it after our SAN problems, it took me days to figure out, especially all of this whatchamacallit, this SQL stuff up here. I'm not a database guy at all, but it took me a long time to figure out, you know, like, oh, well, I got to be under user Postgres to drop the database, and then to create a new database, and then to alter the database owner, and then to change the database password to the one that it previously had so everything will work correctly. So I'll throw this up on YouTube, and I'll include all these notes and everything, and hopefully that'll help somebody out.